Some people drain everything good from those who care about them and then turn that kindness into a weapon against their helpers. These dangerous individuals do not just reject help. They actively harm anyone who reaches out to them. They twist good intentions into personal disasters. They make helpers regret ever getting involved. And the worst part is that they often seem like the people who need help the most. They appear broken and desperate. They pull at heartstrings with their stories. But the moment someone steps in to assist them, everything falls apart. The helper becomes the victim. The person being helped becomes the destroyer. This pattern repeats over and over again because most people cannot spot the warning signs until it is too late. They invest time, energy, money, and emotions into someone who will never appreciate it and will only cause them pain. The damage these dangerous people cause is not small. They can ruin reputations, destroy mental health, drain bank accounts, and shatter relationships with friends and family. And they do all of this while making their helper feel guilty for not doing more. Today, we are going to reveal 5 clear signs that show when someone will destroy anyone who tries to help them. These are not small red flags. These are giant warning signs that should make anyone turn around and walk away immediately. It is crucial that you do not skip any part of this video because missing even one sign could leave you vulnerable to becoming their next victim. If you want to save time, watch this at 1.5 or 2 times speed instead of jumping around. Every single sign matters, and each one builds on the last to give you complete protection against these dangerous people. So let's talk about the first massive warning sign that someone will absolutely wreck your life if you try to help them. Picture this. Someone comes to you with a sad story about how their boss fired them for no reason at all. Then, a week later, they mention their roommate kicked them out because the roommate was jealous. Then they tell you about how their family does not talk to them anymore because the family is toxic. Then an old friend stopped helping them because that friend was fake. Notice anything weird here? In every single story they tell, they are the innocent victim and everyone else is the villain. Every single time. Now here is the thing. When someone has one bad experience with one person, that makes sense. Bad people exist. But when someone tells you that every single person in their entire life has wronged them, that should make alarm bells go off in your head so loud you can barely think. Because here is what nobody wants to admit. If someone smells garbage everywhere they go, they should probably check their own shoes. The first sign of a dangerous person is someone who never takes responsibility for anything that happens to them. And I mean anything. They blame their ex for the breakup even though they cheated. They blame their landlord for the eviction even though they did not pay rent for 3 months. They blame their parents for their current problems even though they are 30 years old. Every story has the same pattern. Something bad happened and it was definitely not their fault. This is dangerous for one huge reason. The way they talk about everyone from their past is exactly how they will talk about you in the future. That friend who helped them for 6 months and then finally gave up. They will tell you that friend was selfish and abandoned them in their time of need. But what they will not tell you is that they stole money from that friend or lied to them repeatedly or treated them like garbage. And when you eventually get tired of helping them, guess what story they will tell the next helper? They will say you were cruel and heartless and gave up on them when they needed you most. They will twist everything that happened to make you look like the bad guy and themselves look like the victim. This is what blame shifters do best. They rewrite history to make their terrible behavior seem reasonable. They will explain how yelling at you was justified because you did not answer your phone fast enough. They will explain how borrowing money and never paying it back was okay because they were going through a hard time. They will explain how lying to you made sense because they were protecting themselves. There is always an excuse, always a reason, always someone else to blame. And the mental exhaustion that comes from dealing with this kind of person is unbelievable. Imagine trying to help someone and every time something goes wrong, it somehow becomes your fault. You did not do enough. You did not care enough. You did not understand enough. Even when you sacrifice your time, money, and energy to help them, they will find a way to blame you when things do not work out. The blame starts small at first. Maybe they make a comment about how you took too long to respond to their text. Or they mention that other people have done more for them than you have. But over time, the blame grows bigger and bigger until suddenly you are being held responsible for their entire life falling apart. And here is the really messed up part. They use guilt like a weapon. They make you feel like you are responsible for fixing their problems. They make you feel like a bad person if you do not drop everything to help them. They make you question yourself constantly. Am I doing enough? Am I being a good friend? Should I be doing more? And while you are drowning in guilt and self-doubt, they are sitting back refusing to take any responsibility for their own life. Because here is the truth that nobody wants to hear. Someone who refuses to take responsibility for their actions will never change.
Never.
They cannot improve because in their mind, nothing is ever their fault. How can they fix problems they refuse to admit they caused? They cannot. So they stay stuck in the same patterns, making the same mistakes, blaming everyone around them, and destroying anyone who tries to help. This is sign number 1. The blame shifter. And if you meet someone who talks badly about every single person from their past and takes zero responsibility for any of their problems, run fast and run far. Moving into the second sign, and this one hits different because it feels so real in the moment. Think about the last time someone called you in a panic, their voice shaking, maybe even crying. They need help right now.
Not tomorrow.
Not next week. Right now. The electricity is about to be shut off. They are about to be evicted. Their car broke down and they have no way to get to work. They have no food in the house. The situation is desperate and urgent, and you are the only person who can save them. So you help. Of course you help. Because you are a good person and this is an emergency. You send the money or give them a place to crash or drive them where they need to go. Crisis solved. You feel good about helping. They promise this was a one-time thing and they will never forget what you did for them. Then 2 weeks later, another crisis. And this one is even worse than the last. Then another one after that. And another one after that. And eventually you start to realize something that makes your stomach turn. These crises never end. There is always another emergency right around the corner. Always another disaster that needs immediate attention. Always another reason why they need help right this second. And here is what makes this so emotionally draining. Each crisis feels legitimate in the moment. The problems are real. The stress is real. The desperation is real. But when you step back and look at the pattern, you start to see something disturbing. Most of these crises are self-created. They knew rent was due, but they spent the money on other things. They knew their car needed an oil change, but they ignored it until the engine died. They knew they needed to show up to work on time, but they kept oversleeping until they got fired. The emergencies keep happening because they keep making the same destructive choices over and over again. And the timing of these crises is never convenient. It is always right when you just got paid, or right when you finally have a free weekend, or right when you are dealing with your own problems. It is like they have a radar for when you have something to give, and that is exactly when they strike with their urgent requests. And if you hesitate even for a second, the guilt trip begins. They make you feel cruel for not responding instantly. They remind you of all the times they were there for you, even though they really were not. They tell you that a real friend would help without asking questions. They make you feel like you are abandoning them in their darkest hour. So you help again.
And again. And again.
But here is what breaks helpers down over time. Solving one crisis does absolutely nothing to prevent the next one. You pay their electric bill, and next month they need money for their phone bill. You let them stay at your place for a week, and they end up staying for 3 months. You give them a ride to a job interview, and then they need rides every single day after they get hired. There is no endpoint, no finish line. No moment where they finally get stable and stop needing constant rescue. And when you try to set boundaries, everything changes. Suddenly, the person who was so sweet and grateful becomes cold and angry. They accuse you of not really caring. They say you are selfish. They remind you that they would never treat you this way. And the emotional manipulation is so strong that you end up feeling guilty for trying to protect yourself. The reality that most helpers do not want to face is this. These people are not unlucky. They are addicted to chaos. They are addicted to the attention and the drama and the feeling of being rescued. Stability actually scares them because stability means they have to take care of themselves. Crisis mode means someone else swoops in to save the day. And over months or years of being on call for someone else's endless emergencies, helpers burn out completely. They lose money. They lose sleep. They lose peace. They lose themselves because they spend so much time putting out fires for someone else that their own life started falling apart. This is sign number 2, the serial crisis creator. And if someone's life is a constant revolving door of emergencies that never seem to end, you are not helping them by rescuing them. You are feeding their addiction to chaos. Now let's get into the third sign, and honestly, this one might make you the angriest because it is so disrespectful. Imagine you just helped someone in a major way. Maybe you lent them a large amount of money, or let them stay at your place, or spent your whole weekend helping them move, or connected them with a job opportunity. You made a real sacrifice. You gave up your time, your resources, your energy. And what do you get in return? Not a genuine thank you. Not appreciation. Not gratitude. Instead, you get criticized because you did not do more, or you get compared to someone else who apparently helped them better than you did, or you get another request before you even catch your breath from the last one. This is sign number 3, the entitled demander. And this type of dangerous person operates on a belief system that will blow your mind. They genuinely believe that other people owe them help. Not that help is a gift from someone who cares. Not that help is a generous act that should be appreciated. But that help is their right, something they deserve, something that should be given to them without question. Watch how they ask for things. Actually, they do not ask. They demand. They do not say, "Hey, I know this is a lot to ask, but would you be able to help me with this?" They say, "I need you to do this for me." No, please. No recognition of the sacrifice. No acknowledgement that you have your own life and your own problems. Just an expectation that you will drop everything and do what they want. And when you do help them, the thank you is empty. It is the kind of thank you that feels like they are just saying it because they know they are supposed to, not because they actually mean it. There is no real gratitude in their eyes, no genuine appreciation in their voice, because in their mind you just did what you were supposed to do. Here is how you can spot the difference between someone who is truly grateful and someone who feels entitled. A grateful person remembers what you did for them. They bring it up later. They tell other people about how much you helped them. They look for ways to give back when they can. They treat your generosity like the special thing it is. An entitled person forgets what you did almost immediately. Or worse, they remember it, but they focus on what you did not do. They mention that you only gave them $200 when they needed $300. They point out that you could only help for 3 hours when they needed help all day. They compare your help to someone else's and make you feel like you came up short. This is the kind of person who will complain that the free place to stay you offered them does not have good Wi-Fi. The kind of person who will get mad that the car you lent them does not have a full tank of gas. The kind of person who will be annoyed that the meal you cooked for them was not their favorite food. They take everything for granted and expect it to continue forever. And here is where it gets really toxic. Entitled people test boundaries constantly. They ask for small favors at first to see if you will say yes. Then the favors get bigger and bigger and more unreasonable. They are testing how much they can take from you. They are seeing how far they can push before you finally say no. And when you do eventually set a boundary or say you cannot help this time, they lose it. They get angry. They get cold. They guilt trip you. They punish you for not meeting their demands, because in their twisted view, you refusing to help is a betrayal. This kind of behavior shows a complete lack of respect and basic human decency. It shows that they do not see you as a person with your own needs and limits. They see you as a resource to be used. And the most painful part about dealing with entitled people is this. The second you stop being useful to them, they disappear. They do not care about you as a person. They care about what you can do for them. So when you have nothing left to give, or when you finally stand up for yourself, They move on to the next helper without a second thought. Meanwhile, you are left feeling used, unappreciated, and foolish for giving so much to someone who valued you so little. This is sign number 3, the entitled demander. And if someone treats your kindness like it is something they deserve rather than something special, they will drain you dry and toss you aside without a moment of guilt. Now, this 4th sign is going to hit you in a way that the others have not, because this one is about watching potential die right in front of your eyes. This is a lesson you cannot afford to ignore. Think about what it takes to truly help someone turn their life around. The time,
The energy.
the resources, the emotional investment, the hope. You pour all of that into someone because you believe in them. You see their potential. You know they can do better. So you help them get a job. You help them find a place to live. You help them get into therapy or treatment. You connect them with opportunities. You encourage them every step of the way. Things start looking up.
Finally.
After all your effort, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. They are making progress. They are moving forward. They are building something. And then, right when stability is within reach, they destroy it all. They quit the job. They trash the apartment. They stop going to therapy. They burn the bridges you helped them build. And you are left standing there absolutely stunned, asking yourself what just happened. This is the progress saboteur. And this pattern is one of the most heartbreaking and frustrating things a helper can experience. Because it does not happen once. It happens over and over again. Every time they get close to something good, they sabotage it. Every time life starts to stabilize, they create chaos. Every time an opportunity opens up, they slam the door shut themselves. And the excuses flow like water. The job was not a good fit. The apartment had too many problems. The therapist did not understand them. The opportunity was not quite right. There is always a reason why it did not work out. Always an explanation for why they had to walk away. But here is what they never admit. The real reason they sabotage progress is because they are terrified of stability. Dysfunction is comfortable for them. Chaos is familiar. Crisis is where they know how to operate. But stability? Stability means they have to take responsibility. Stability means they have to maintain something. Stability means they cannot blame their circumstances anymore. So when things start to go well, they panic, and they burn it all down before they have to face the reality of actually being okay. Now imagine being the helper watching this happen. You spent months setting things up. You called in favors. You vouched for them. You put your own reputation on the line. And they threw it away like it meant nothing. The frustration is crushing. The disappointment is overwhelming. The anger is justified. Because you did not just waste your time. You wasted your hope. You believed they wanted to change. You believed they were ready. You believed this time would be different. But they were never ready. They were never willing. They said they wanted help, but what they really wanted was someone to enable their dysfunction. They wanted rescue, not recovery. They wanted sympathy, not solutions. And when you finally see this pattern clearly, it changes you. You realize that months or years of your life went into trying to save someone who was actively choosing to stay broken. You realize that every opportunity you created for them was an opportunity they were going to waste. You realize that their failure was not your failure. It was their choice. But the damage is already done. You second-guess yourself. You wonder if you could have done more. You feel like you failed them even though they failed themselves. This is what progress saboteurs do to helpers. They make you feel responsible for their self-destruction. They make you carry the weight of their choices. They make you believe that if you had just tried harder or done better or been more patient, things would have worked out. But that is a lie. The truth is that no amount of help can save someone who is determined to sabotage themselves. No amount of love can fix someone who refuses to change. No amount of opportunity matters if the person is too afraid or too comfortable in their dysfunction to take it. This is the massive lesson here. Some people are not ready to be helped. And trying to force progress on someone who sabotages every step forward is not just pointless. It is destructive to you. So sign number 4 is the progress saboteur. And if someone repeatedly destroys every good thing you help them build, They are showing you loud and clear that they do not actually want the life you are trying to help them create. Believe them. Now, let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about this. When was the last time you talked to your best friend? Not a quick text, an actual conversation. When was the last time you spent quality time with your family without feeling guilty or rushed? When was the last time you did something for yourself without someone making you feel selfish for it? If you are struggling to answer these questions, there might be a dangerous person in your life right now. And this fifth sign is one of the most insidious because it happens so slowly that you do not even realize it is happening until the damage is already done. Think back to when you first started helping this person. You had a full life. You had friends. You had family. You had hobbies. You had balance. But somewhere along the way, all of that started shrinking. Your friends stopped calling because you kept canceling plans to deal with their emergencies. Your family started pulling away because you defended this person when they disrespected your loved ones. Your hobbies disappeared because you had no time or energy left after dealing with their constant needs. And now you are isolated,
Alone.
disconnected from everyone who actually cared about you before this person showed up. This is what a relationship destroyer does. They do not just take your time and energy. They take your people. They systematically cut you off from everyone else in your life until you are completely dependent on them, and they are completely in control of you. Watch how they talk about the people you love. They always have something negative to say. Your best friend is fake. Your parents are controlling. Your siblings are jealous. Your co-workers are toxic. Every person in your life gets criticized and diminished. And at first you defend these people because you know they are good. But after hearing the same criticisms over and over, doubt starts to creep in. Maybe your friend is a little fake sometimes. Maybe your parents are kind of controlling. The seed of doubt gets planted and it grows. Then they create conflict. They start drama with your loved ones, either directly or indirectly. They disrespect your family and then act hurt when your family does not like them. They talk badly about your friends and then play victim when your friends warn you about them. They put you in positions where you have to choose them or your family, them or your friends, them or your peace. And every time you choose them, you lose a piece of your support system. Notice how much time and energy they demand. It is never just an hour here or there. It is all day, all night. Constant texts, constant calls, constant needs. And if you dare to spend time with anyone else, they get jealous. They sulk. They make passive-aggressive comments. They create another crisis that requires your immediate attention. The message is clear. Your time belongs to them, not to your friends, not to your family, not to yourself, to them. And if you try to maintain boundaries or keep other relationships alive, they punish you. They give you the silent treatment. They make you feel guilty. They remind you of everything they are going through and how you are abandoning them in their time of need. So you give in. You cancel plans. You skip family dinners. You stop calling your friends back because dealing with their reaction is more exhausting than just giving them what they want. But here is what you do not realize until it is too late. This isolation is not an accident. It is a strategy, because when you have no one else to turn to, you cannot leave them. When you have no one else to talk to, you cannot get perspective on how toxic the relationship has become. When you have no support system left, you are trapped. And some relationship destroyers take it even further. They spread lies about you. They contact your employer with false stories. They message your family with twisted versions of events. They post things on social media designed to damage your reputation. They make sure that even if you try to reach back out to the people you lost, those people might not want you back because of the poison that was spread. The long-term damage from this kind of person is devastating. Friendships that took years to build get destroyed in months. Family bonds that should be unbreakable get fractured. And even after you finally get away from the relationship destroyer, the road back to those people is long and painful. Some relationships never recover. Some people never forgive. Some damage cannot be undone. And the loneliness that comes from realizing you sacrificed real relationships for someone who was never truly your friend is a special kind of pain. You gave up people who genuinely loved you for someone who only used you. You traded authentic connections for a toxic manipulator. You lost your tribe trying to save someone who was actively working to isolate you. So ask yourself right now, has someone in your life slowly separated you from everyone else? Have you noticed your world getting smaller since they came into it? Have you lost relationships that mattered because of them? If the answer is yes, you are dealing with a relationship destroyer. And this is sign number 5, the most dangerous one yet, because money can be earned back, time can be made up, energy can be restored, but some relationships, once broken, can never be fully repaired. Do not let anyone take your people away from you.
Ever.
So there they are, all 5 signs laid out in front of you. The blame shifter who makes everything everyone else's fault. The serial crisis creator who keeps you trapped in emergency mode forever. The entitled demander who treats your generosity like garbage. The progress saboteur who destroys every good thing you build for them. And the relationship destroyer who isolates you from everyone who actually loves you. You now have information that most people learn the hard way after losing time, money, peace, and relationships. You have the exact warning signs that show when someone will wreck your life if you try to help them. And here is where things get real. What you do with this information right now will determine your future. If you recognize these signs in someone in your life and you ignore them, if you go right back to enabling their destruction after watching this video, then honestly, what happens next is on you. You cannot say you did not know. You cannot say you did not see it coming. You cannot say nobody warned you, because you have been warned, right here, right now. Walking away from someone who shows these signs is not cold. It is smart. It is not cruel. It is self-care. It is not giving up on them. It is protecting yourself, because you cannot save someone who does not want to be saved. And trying to help these dangerous people often makes everything worse, not better. Sometimes the best help you can give someone is letting them face the consequences of their own choices without you there to cushion the fall. Your time, your energy, your money, your mental health, and your relationships with people who actually value you are too precious to waste on someone who will destroy you for trying to care. Trust what you have learned here. Trust your instincts. Trust those warning signs. And please, share this video with anyone who might need to hear it, because someone you know might be going through this right now, and they need this wake-up call. Now the algorithm knows what video you need to see next. That suggestion on your screen right now is not random. Click on it. Your growth does not stop here. And remember this, protecting yourself from people who take advantage of kindness is not selfish. It is survival.